Okay, today we are going to read about what happened after Jesus was convicted as a criminal. Remember, he did nothing wrong, but he's taking on all our sins and our bad choices. Let's see what he has to do next. The sun stops shining. "So you're a king, are you?" the Roman soldiers jeered. "Then you'll have a crown and a robe." They gave Jesus a crown made of thorns and put a purple robe on him and pretended to bow down to him. "Your Majesty," they said. And then they whipped him and spat on him, and they didn't understand that he was the Prince of Life and the King of heaven and earth who had come to rescue them. The soldiers made him a sign, "Our King," and nailed it to a wooden cross. They walked up a hill outside of the city. Jesus carried the cross on his back. Jesus had never done anything wrong, but they were going to kill him in a way criminals had to die. They nailed Jesus to the cross. "Father, forgive them," Jesus gasped. "They don't understand what they're doing." "You say you've come to rescue us," people shouted, "but you can't even rescue yourself." But those people were wrong. Jesus could rescue himself. A legion of angels, which is a really big group of angels, would have flown by his side if he had only asked. "If you are really the Son of God, you could just climb off the cross," they said. And of course they were right. Jesus could have just climbed down. Actually, he could have just said a word and made it all stop. Like when he healed the little girl and stilled the storm and fed the 5,000 people. But Jesus stayed. He chose to stay. You see, he didn't understand it. What they didn't understand was it wasn't the nails that kept Jesus there on the cross. It was love. "Papa, where are you? Don't leave me," he said to God. And for the first time and the last time, when he spoke, nothing happened. Just a horrible, endless silence. God didn't answer. He turned away from his boy. Tears rolled down Jesus' face and the face of the one who would wipe away every tear from every eye. Even though it was midday, a dreadful darkness covered the face of the world. The sun could not shine. The earth trembled and quaked. The great mountain shook. Rocks split in two until it seemed like the whole world would break, that creation itself would tear apart. A full force of storm of God's fierce anger and sin was coming down. Anger was coming down on his own son instead of his people. It was the only way God could destroy sin and not destroy his children whose hearts were filled with sin. Then Jesus shouted out in a loud voice, "It is finished." And it was. He had done it. Jesus had rescued the world. "Father," he cried, "I give you my life." And with a great sigh, he left himself and died. Strange clouds and shadows filled the sky, purple, orange, and black, like a bruise. Jesus' friends gently carried Jesus. They set Jesus in a new tomb and carved out of the rock. How could Jesus die? What had gone wrong? What did this mean? They didn't know anything anymore, except they did know their hearts were breaking. "That's the end of Jesus," the leaders said. But just to be sure, they sent strong soldiers to guard the tomb, and they hauled a huge stone in front of the door of the tomb so that no one could get out or in. But the story doesn't end there. Tomorrow we're going to read the story of hope. So you guys, Jesus, we know this, he doesn't stay in that tomb, and he doesn't stay dead. He comes back, and tomorrow we're going to read about that. So I hope you guys have a good day, and I can't wait to read the next story to you.